Hello. Hello. That looks good. Everything looks good. Everything seems decent. Let's see if... Hello. Okay. Let's get this stream started. Today, we're going to be working on some pretty complicated things, if I do say so myself. Uh, yeah, some difficult things. Let's start over here. Tetris is a game that I really like to play. It's a lot of fun. So, I've got some stuff laid out here. It's a basic game, if you haven't heard of it. It sold a lot of copies, and for a very long time, it was the most sold video game ever. It consists of several different kinds of blocks. The T, two of the little squiggly marks, two different kinds of L blocks, a square, and a straight line. And this is all the different configurations that it can be in. Now we're going to be talking a lot of different technical stuff here today, so I'm going to try to explain it the best I can. Alright, so in a game, in a video game, you have code. And most code speaks in binary, okay? That's a number system that only uses 2 digits. In base 10, or what we normally count with, we use 10 digits, 0 through 9, okay? And when we get to the number 9, we start over, and we say that that 9 is now a 0, because there's nothing in the ones place anymore, and there's now 1 in the tens place. And then we count up to 19, and we go 2 in the tens place, and 1, or 0 in the ones place. In binary, it's very similar, okay? Except you only have 2 digits. So you start with 0 on the board, okay? That's this one. And then we have 1 lights. So far, everything is pretty intuitive. That's how we would count normally. But now, we're going to have 0 in the ones place, and 1 in the twos place. Does that make sense? So 0, 1, and then 0 and 1 is here. That means that we have a 2. Okay, so 0, 1, and then it's a 2 because it's 1 in the twos place. And then we count up one more. 1 in the twos place and 1 in the ones place. So 1, 1. Okay? Then, because these are both filled, we go 0 in the ones place, 0 in the twos place, 1 in the fours place. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. We're going to count all the way up to 19. Now these are out of order. This is 15 right here, because we have 0 all the way up to 15. And then, here, I'll go through and do this. 1 in the ones place, 1 in the twos place, that's 3, 1 in the fours place, that's 7, and then 1 in the eights place, that's 15. So we have, that's 15, and then we're going to count up one more, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so we have 19 different blocks that different configurations that we have. Now, something that I wasn't really thinking through when I did this is that in order to have a block on the screen, I'm going to want to add 1 to all of these, because 0 will be nothing is coming up, and that'll be like paused or something. So we have different states for that. And I think maybe not this stream, but one of the next streams that I do, if I continue to do streams, will be adding a system so that you have these 5, and then you can add 3 or 4 onto the side, and just add more, and those will all encode, these 4 digits can encode where it is on the board. Alright, so that's how we're going to be doing the Tetris blocks. I have these all encoded, essentially, alright? And that is what it looks like right here, okay? So 0 all the way through, okay? And then if I... How do I do this? I wasn't really smart about this. I could go like this. Alright, turn this off, okay? I'm just going to turn all of these on. Okay. Oh. Just bear with me for just a second here, people. Alright. So now if I turn all these off, alright, good. So this is what we call, it's basically an encoder, alright? We can use this as data, alright? This will be all the different configurations, alright? So if I go like this, only one of these is going to turn on. And if we go over here, it's in the 4 spot, so that will be the sideways red, okay? Sideways red is going to be this one right here. Alright, so what we could do is we could go like this and put a sideways red over it. Alright, this line actually doesn't do anything, so I could delete that. I had forgotten that that line doesn't do anything. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do... It's going to take, along with all the science that we're going to be doing today, there's going to be a lot of me just trying to figure out what on earth I'm going to try to do here, because it's going to be chaotic. Alright, so now I think red 1 with a 1, alright, that's this one right here, is going to be straight up and down block, okay? And if you turn these off, you can see it's 1 and 1, alright? And we're going to need to, this is probably the grid that we're going to use. We're going to need to lay this out in such a way that we could pick one of these at a time. And we're going to need to have a system for memory to decide, alright, I've got a red piece on the ground like this, and then I have a green piece like this, and I have a blue piece like this. Those are different, yep. And then I have a yellow piece like this, and we need to be sure that the piece that's flying down, that's up here, can move, and all of these are locked in position. And then it's going to be a simple, I'll describe what an AND gate is in a second here, but it's going to be a simple AND gate. If there's a gap like this, then we can't have that, and that line doesn't delete. But if I completed a line right here, and I just put down another red over here, this line gets deleted. All of these blocks that are now here, this guy gets paused, all of these blocks come down. So this is going to be here, this will be here, this green will be here, these yellows will be here, and then this red comes down 1. It'll look like that then. Alright? And the best way to put this yellow block would be right here. Alright? So we need to have a way to move this back and forth, have all of these lock, and be able to unlock. So we're going to need like a... I think it will be like a random access memory. That's what RAM is in your computer. We're going to need like a little area so that we could store and access where all of these are and what they are doing on the board. Because once we delete, this is only 2 here. So there's only a couple different configurations that you can have over here, but we're also going to need to be able to delete pieces off, or maybe, and I think it would make more sense, is if we had them locked in over here, and then we deleted them by rows, and we just decided, alright, this row is deleted, and everything comes down. Because remember, and realistically, this is just going to be on a black and white board. I gave it some really, I put some thought into it before I started making the stream, and like decided to do this for real, and I think a black and white display board is going to be the best option we have, because ticker tape, we could make like a piston feed tape that makes this go through. I can't imagine how it would work, but that's the only way I could think to make it colorful without making an insane amount of work into coloring maps and stuff, because you can color maps and then you could shade blocks like glass. I saw like somebody made an RGB display, but it's too complicated for me to do here. This is Bedrock Edition. So I think the easiest and best option we have is the display board. And as you can see, I don't want to show that too much yet. As you can see, I have single lanterns lit up. So if I were to flick this lever and power this lantern directly, the adjacent ones get powered, which is not what we want, because we want a small display board. We don't want some huge thing. Not saying that we can't have a huge display board, but this is going to be a good option. And back in the back here, I can power these relatively easily without breaking my head. Relatively easily. I think what the play would be is to draw these out. Oops. And have this come out to here, and then come over, and then this guy comes over to here, and then this guy comes over to here, and you just keep doing that over and over again until you're feeling better. But I still need to work on that. But right now, I know I have a working display board that will work. We could do this. All right. There's ways for me to work on that. It'll be a slow thing. That's the other thing. We need to match our display with the redstone over here. All right. So I'm almost done explaining where I'm at. And I'll describe what these are in a second. For now, I need to fly over to here. And where am I? Oh, there they are. I did these earlier. Alright, so in Minecraft we have redstone, which is a logic system, okay? It runs off of powered or not powered, which is why it's inherently easier to do binary for Minecraft than other games, I'd assume. But this is really nice because we can make logic gates, alright? So computers and video games run off of code, which run off of logic gates, okay? Things you may have heard of, OR gates, alright? That's the first one. That's the simplest to build in Minecraft. If this lever is on, the redstone is on, or if this lever is on, it's on. And if both are on, then it's still on. It's an OR gate, okay? If either one is open, it's an OR gate. If this one or this one is open. Alright? Now, this one is a little bit easier, a little bit more complicated. There's a couple redstones in here, alright? Redstone torches. Alright? Now, this one, if you can follow along, just for a second, this is pretty fun. This is cool. Right here is an AND gate, alright? If this lever is on, and this lever is on, then the redstone will be off. Alright? Well, I guess, actually, sorry. This is my bad. My bad. This is an AND gate. If this one is on, and this one is on, then this is on. Alright? Then, a redstone torch essentially works as a knot, okay? So, as in NOT. In Minecraft, and in logic gates, you need knots, because nullifying or flipping a signal can be really, really useful. This is a NAND gate, okay? It's not an AND gate, alright? It turns off the signal, so when this is off and this one is off, then this is on. Okay? Make sense? Then, I need to look at I have a little chart right here. You can look up Minecraft logic gates, and it's one of the first pictures that comes up. There's a really nice description of everything that I'm going through right now. This is an XOR gate, okay? It's not a NOR gate, that's different. This would be a NOR gate, okay? Because it would be flipping it off. This one or this one, okay? This one or this one, okay? Very good. This is a NAND gate. This is an XOR gate. One of my favorites, alright? This is a cool one, alright? If this one is off, this one is on, or yeah, these are both off right now. If they're both off, this is off. If this is on, it turns on. If this one turns on, it turns on, okay? But if I put both of them down, then it turns off, okay? And then all I'd need to do in order to make this an XNOR gate is put a redstone torch on this block right here. And then if both of them are off or on, then the gate will be on. 1, 2, see it's on. But if one is on or the other one is on, it doesn't turn on. So it's a combination of these two together. It makes it this is really useful for a couple different situations. But right now we're not going to be using very many of these, if we use any at all. Okay? All of your computer chips are built off of the AND gates and the OR gates, all right? It's all built up off of that. All right? Which is what we're going to be using today. Now, here's a new thing that we haven't really discussed yet. And I'm skipping way ahead. I learned a lot of this in college, so it's more advanced stuff, but I'm confident you guys could get through and figure it out. All right. I should note right now that this is Bedrock Edition. So some of the redstone is going to be a little janky because it's not Java Edition, but I figured it would be nice to put some Bedrock inclusivity in there because people like Bedrock. It's more accessible to a lot of people. But Java is a lot of fun, and I'm sure that I could make the redstone a lot less complicated than what I have here. Alright, now, this one is pretty cool. I'm going to take this torch away. I'm going to replace it with levers, okay? Now, let's say we have 4 inputs from whatever, okay? 4 inputs. Let's say this one signifies that I'll put a sign up. That'll make things a little bit more nice. Where are the signs? Hello? Hello? It won't take signs. Sing. S-I-G-N. Alright, here we go. Oak sign. Very good. This one represents water. No, we'll put it in terms of Tetris, okay? Line clear. Okay? This logic gate right here, this logic gate system that I'm about to show you, cleans up a lot of things. All right, we could do a lot of cool stuff with it. All right, so this is the line clear. This is rotate button or block. Okay. This is force down, because in Tetris you have an acceleration of the blocks if you want to, so force down. Alright, and then we'll say this is left and right. Left is off, right. We're gonna need 3 ways to do that, but we're gonna say this is the left movement. Okay, now this is called a mux, or a multiplex, I believe is the name of it. Multiplex? Is that right? Multiplexer. Sorry. Yes, a multiplexer. That is what this is. Alright? So, let's say that the line is clear. So this is on. Alright? And I am pressing left and I want it to go down. Okay? But right now, I want the computer to be looking to see if we're rotating the block. Okay? So I would click this, all right, and this is a 4 counter, right, because there's 2 blocks, so that's the highest we can count is 4. Remember, it's 0, 1, oops, forgot about that trick there. 0, 1, 2, okay, and then 3 would be that. So we can count from 0 to 3, all right. right now, this is at 1 because this one is on. I know it's backwards. I'm sorry. You could look at it from this direction and it would be right. But that is how this works right now. So at 1, this is line 1. We could also say that. Can I edit this? I can edit these, right? Line 1. Line 0. Oops. Line 2. And then line 3 right over here. Line 3. Delete this. Alright? So this is line 1. And that's the one that we've selected right now. So the light is not on. But notice how all 3 of these are on. Now, we're going to circle through, and let's assume that we're going to be looking, as a computer, is going to be looking to see if we're forcing down. So we're going to go just like this. This is 2 now, right? Line 2. See the line is on? And let's say that we've stopped moving left now, and the line has already cleared. For whatever reason, the line is now cleared. Okay? So only one of these is on, and that one's the one that is on. So I can circle through and go up to 4, and that'll turn off. Or I could go down to 0. Nothing will happen because it's a multiplexer, alright? So the selection line chooses which line gets to go through. Alright? That is the logic that we're doing right here. Okay? Now, over here, if I take away this block right here, this is an AND gate. Remember we had the 2 levers right here? And then the redstone on top, the 2 redstone torches, and the redstone torch coming out. It's a NAND gate, alright? By adding this 3rd redstone, now it's 3-way, okay? I have to have 3 inputs that are all on in order for this to say, alright, I'm going to put a signal out, okay? Right now we've got this one coming through, and we need to be in this position right here, and then that'll come on. Do you see how this works? Very good. And I think it's awesome. Alright, these are awesome. And then this, remember the block that had the 2 levers on it as an OR gate? Right, so this is a 4-way OR gate. If any one of these is on, if this one, or this one, or this one, or this one is on, then it'll send out a signal. Alright? And what I'd like to do and accomplish in this stream, depending on how long we have, is I'd like to make a mux. Okay, that's what this is, multiplexer. And I'd like to condense it to fit within 1/6, maybe 7, and then 1, 2, plus 3. I'd like to fit it in a 7x7 area. I'd really like that. Okay, I'm sure that there's a way that I could make it a little bit skinnier up front, but if I move this redstone into here like this, then it gets powered by this torch, and we can't have that. It has to be a NAND gate. It just works out a little bit easier that way. Oh, so there's a lot of talking. Let's get in. Let's fry our brains for a little bit. The way I've set this up is going to try to make it easier for you guys. Alright? If I bring these out, this is the 3 that were allowed, remember? Okay? The problem that I've been running into, and this is how I have it set up right here, is this yellow one in this corner right here. And the reason I'm rebuilding this all new is because I was starting to get confused as to where my lines and redstone lines were going. Alright? Now, I'm fairly certain I'm going to want these just like this. At least 2 coming out. Alright? And then I'll show you guys how this works. Alright? Red here. We're going to put the red on the far side. Alright? Oops, did I break something? Nope, it's just laggy. Alright, that's all the reds right here. And the way we want to do it, alright, we can come over here for reference. Alright, you'll notice that there's a line that goes straight, and there's a line that gets redstone torched, and then it goes straight. Same thing here, one that goes straight, one that gets redstone torched. All right. So we have a NOT gate right here. That's a NOT. Okay. And the red one goes here, and it cuts over, and then it goes straight, and it cuts over. This repeater gets a signal from this block, and it keeps going. It does not take from the bottom. You'll see how this one is powered, but this one is not. Okay, so it comes straight down, and it comes over. So it goes into this one, it skips one, it goes into the next one. All right. Whereas the yellow both go 1, 2, and then this one is the straight line 1, 2. Okay. And that's how we get the counter. All right. So 0 through 3. So when we get over to here, I need these both to be knotted, okay, on the red, because we can actually look at this right here. Both of the greens for red are knotted, and the blues are not knotted. I know it's hard to say. Not knotted. Both of the reds are straight lined, okay? Or, sorry, both blue lines are straight, as in right from the source. Okay, this one comes right over, and this one comes right over. And then yellow goes to the first green and the first blue. I think it'll be easier to get the inverted signal from yellow. I think that'll be easier to do on the bottom. Okay, so we'll have green and blue, and then both of these will have a redstone torch on them. We could go like this and like this. Delete these because we don't need those blocks. One thing I'm going to try very hard on is not mixing up my signals. Alright, now remember this is within 7 here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I did the joke. So funny. We're going to count to 7 a lot, guys. I'm sorry. It's just the number that I wanted. It's a nice number. It's even. Okay, I'm sorry. I've done this. I've brought this upon myself. I want to put this right here. So both of these should be off and both of these should be on. Alright. Oh, and then yellow is going to take me forever. One thing we can do, and I was looking into this before, we can bring a yellow right there and put it like that. I like that idea. Okay. I'm trying, I don't want to confuse you guys. I've been thinking over this a lot, and I have to remind myself to remind you guys and show you guys what we're thinking here. Alright? So, we have to put signals into all of these, right? And I want the signals, the inputs to be on this side right here. So, let's go ahead. We have to be pretty conscious of... Oh, right here. That's where I want that. We have to be pretty conscious of what the next blocks, like where the yellow signals are going to come out. So we don't want to block too many things in here. This needs to be... Wait a minute. I don't want to get confused here. Both greens come from the same spot, from yellow, right? Yes. Green. Green. Alright. So these are both on the same line. That was a mistake I was making before. Right? So we don't want to make that mistake. I can presumably put a block there. Yeah, that works actually. Because if I put another block up here like this, that's one. That's the red. I'll get yellow around the red here and bring it through. And then this red, it can come down through the bottom. Can I do that? What if I... what if I go like this? Oh. But then this is on. Oh, wait a minute. Oh! Oh, it's brilliant! It works so good! Yes! Yes! Oh! We did it, guys. The game is done. We've completed the whole mission. This is awesome, actually. Alright, because watch this. I flick this lever, and almost at the same time, both of these will turn off. And this is turned off because that's on there. Okay. I'm just going to make sure that that's not powered. Alright. Everything is as it should be, except for this, which needs to be powered right here. Alright, so we're looking, these should be off, these should be on. Excellent. Now, we're going to be looking for these, this one, and this one to both be off. Okay? This one and this one. Which means that this is our number 1 line right here. It's going to be, I believe that's right. We'll work that out when we get to it. Okay? So this is already way better than what we had before. And now we just need to run this line through, which is really easy, alright? We just have to put a red line right here. And then we put another repeater on here. And then we put a power on there. Beautiful. Alright. So red line 1 is right here. Very good. Oh, okay. That makes me feel a little bit better, knowing that that is done. And this is a green right here, blue. Alright, now we need to think about yellow. Yellow. This yellow and this yellow both need to be connected, and then we need to have some form of similar system on the bottom here. And how are we doing with this spacing here? Technically, we do not have anything below 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it really only 6? Well, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yeah, we're still good with that too. Alright. Where do we have room to come through here? We can poke either of these 2 blocks we can poke. I'm gonna guess it's gonna have to be this one right here, because don't break this. This is gonna come through here. Alright. And then this is there should be a torch on that right there. Alright, so this comes through, and I can't power this from the top because, oh wait, did we do this? Oh, but then these will be together. How do I do this? Oh, but I can't do that here. Wait, I know we could do this, guys. I'm sure we could do this. Right? Guys, I'm struggling. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's think about this for a minute. This is gonna come through here. I can't come over anymore because the red is getting powered from that direction right there. That comes through. It powers this. It couldn't have been that easy, could it? If I place something right there. Right. Wait. I think I've got it. We can make this a target block right here. I'm all for the unconventional uses of target blocks, man. I like them. And we're not bothering anybody down below. And we could power this and just place that above it. Alright. Now if I power this line right here. Hello? Shouldn't this come through? Ah, brilliant. My brilliance, everyone. Alright, that is working better now. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I like it. We're working, doing better here. What's next? Alright, this line needs to also power this line right here. Can I get any number of... How do I power this line from there? I can't place anything on this. This is the problem that we were having before. Just saying. This is about where I got before I started to just freak out, really. It looks so easy at first, and then you start complaining about things, and it just gets more and more difficult. I will say, for all of the kicks and giggles that I'm having with this, I do really appreciate how compact it is. We're doing really well with that aspect of it. Anyway, what if... But don't think about that yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. I was thinking about the bottom row and how we're going to power that. But we don't need to think about that yet. Right now, what we need to be concerned with is getting this powered at the same time as this one. Okay? We can't power it from the top. We can't power it from over here. Oh, redstone tower? What if I did that? How would I power it then? Can I get a yellow right here to power this one? And that blue's not doing anything. Okay. What is that doing? And then... See, I could power this one. Oh, I see what's happening. We need to have another power source right here. Oh, but then we're going down below the line that we wanted to. I'm willing to make it work if it works. Okay. What if I can't put it on this block because then it won't be able to reach that. Oh wait. I'm just now realizing we're not set to this standard here. As long as this block gets powered right here, then we are okay. Right? If I destroy these, that's still powered, and then I turn this off. Who's powering that? Wait a minute. Ah. Okay. You know, I deserved that. This turns off. This turns on. Okay, basically that does work. Alright? Technically, still alive. Alright? Now, watch this. Power of magic right here. Friendship is magic? No. No. Power is magic. The problem is, we need to be able to power into this and power this here. How do I do that? By using target blocks! I'm a genius. I love target blocks, guys. I'm telling you, they are the absolute best. But if I power this then they turn on. Can I move that somewhere? Hello? Maybe I can just pop that on there. Okay, I like it. It'll work for me. Because that is the blue line right there, right? Why do we need to have... That's red. And then we could just... I mean, yeah. Just put red on that right there. Ah, but then we're still running into that issue there. That's fine. Basically, what we're saying is... I don't need that. I could turn this lever right here, and that will be off, and this will be off, even though you can't see it. Can I take a little lamp? Let's make sure about this, everyone. I'm taking this. Alright, let's assume that these two are on. Alright, but we could turn them off with levers. Okay, these are on, and this is the situation that we're in right now. So if I put that there, and then I put a yellow underneath, now I need a lever. Grab the lever, turn them both off, and then if I put this lever, the redstone lamp still works, alright? I'm only doing this for demonstrational purposes, so we can see that that is powered right now. Okay, so as it stands right now, this should be off and this should be on. It is not like that right now, so we need to find a spot like this where we could go like that. And now that's still off for some reason. That turns on right there. Powering. This gets powered right into that. Where is this getting powered from? Don't redstone torches work like this? Because this is getting powered. Oh! Oh, we were so close. 1 second. We can rework this, can't we? Oh, because we have this here. Oh, I like this setup, though. Where can we power that from? Can power it from above, or we could power it from right here. But if this turns on, it's still powering this one right here. Is that right? I think that would be true. No matter what, that's on, right? Oh, silly, silly Jimmy. Thinking he had it all figured out. We'll come back around to it. Those are both on. Those are both off. Those are both on. Those are both off. Okay. Both off. Both off. This is really bugging me. See, it works good because, you know, they did good on that. What if I can't power this because then we'd be in trouble? What if I go like that, though? Then we're good, right? Both, and those are both on the same line, which makes it so much easier. So much easier. Okay. Now, green and blue, they should all work. Alright, let's make sure about that. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of the middle ones should be off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. That's good. And those two on the side should be off. And then these should be on. Excellent. Off. Why is this getting powered? What? Oh! Okay, so we're actually starting to get the logic gates all set up because these are all on now. So I'm going to go ahead and turn all of these back off. That's good. That means we're doing really good progress. And I believe if I place a lever on here, where does that go to? Alright, at some point we broke something and this one is not working anymore. How do we get that powered up into there? This is powered right here, like this. And is there any way I can power this redstone via that block right there? This block right here is the one that we need to power. I think the way we're going to do this is by running this right here. And then this right here. Off, on, off, on. Okay. Oof, this is a lot. Now, and I know we've got a little bit of a growth going on here. I apologize for that. Now, the top yellow is done. The bottom yellow is the next thing to go here. Alright. I think, are we justified in breaking that? We cannot break that. And that red one is powered there. And I think it's a redstone repeater. Yep, so we can power through this one if we needed to. I don't think we're going to need to. I would like to say we don't need to. But we can go like this. That's going to be directly powering there. We can go over here and do it. Actually, this might be really easy because this yellow is the one that we need right here. Alright. And as long as we can bring that out over to here. I'm realizing now 7 by 7 is a little bit excessive. I'm sure that you can do it. Oh, but it is a messy bit of business right there. I'd also like this to be as fast as I can get it. And there's some work I can do up here. If I needed to run more, I could do a little bit more red over to here. But I really like how this system is set up right here. It would be nice to have something like that for the other side too. We're going to probably do another iteration of this so that we can get it. But I'd like to have one working at least so that I can work on the actual work of it. Because if we can get them going here, that would be really nice. Then we're running into the problem again of both of them powering it forever. So we could go run this down here. Right, and if I break this, then nothing gets through. That is powered. Both of them are on. And then we can run this right through here. cooking. Now we're cooking, guys. Now it's happening. Alright. This goes right here. This goes right there. And now if I flick this lever, the yellow side is this side. The top are off, top, bottom are on. Okay. I need a way to put this in here. Okay. Basically, I go like that. Bottom are off, top are on. Okay. Alright, run this right here like this. Everybody's on. Top is on. Oh, because that can't run down there. Silly. It was silly of me to try that, actually. Because I could just go like this. Now that switches them. Alright, that switches them on the bottom there. And this is the red lever right here, which turns those off. And these need to turn on right here. On. Good. Alright guys, now we just need to test it out, okay? Now, I think this is the first one. So we just need to find out. That would be really nice. Okay. Now, it would be really nice if we could go like this. Call that good. Alright, left, right, left, right, and then top. Oh, see, this is what I mean. Bottom. Bottom is on. Okay, switch this. Okay, why is the top not turning on? Bottom? Bottom is off. Where is... Alright, for a second there, we had it working. Let's assume that the left is on, okay? Not the right, because we clearly have a problem with the right there. Take the top. Okay. Flip these all to off again, because it was just working. Oh, see this? This is why we have difficulties sometimes, guys. Because I can't just live. Oh. Oh. See, I did have this powered before. It was powered nicely before. now I can't place another block underneath that to power it. I can, however, go like this. For whatever reason, redstone doesn't power itself anymore. Alright, so we're just gonna have to run it down like that. Be pretty janky about it. Top, bottom, top, what? Okay. What is happening? These should both be the same. But they're not the same. Okay. Let's just go like that. That's off. Which means that's on, which means that's on. So what I need is to bring this up here. But then it's being powered by something else. Which is what the problem is that we've been having this whole time. Ah! Alright, so we just go like this. Can we bring that in anymore? Nope, because then it would break other things. Where did that repeater come from? Think about it. Think people. Let's think about this. There was another block down here, wasn't there? Was it a red one? I bet it was a red one. It was a red one because this is going right into here. Yeah, okay. This needs to be powered by the same thing right here. Okay. In fact, we could even be so decadent. You see that? That's a big word. As to go like that. We could do that. And then we could presume to know the way forward after that. Okay, so these are both on, and those are both on. And then it's just a simple matter. Boop, boom, just like that. Okay, off, on. Off, on. Top, bottom. Boom. Bop, 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 bop. Boom, just like that. So now we should have everything the way it's supposed to. I'm guessing that whatever torch burnout thing is happening over here is going to keep happening. So we'll just have to look out for that. That line is on. Okay? We need left and right are both need to be swapped. Where is the burnout happening though? Okay. It's happening right here. Because this block is powering this block here. I remember having this problem before because I didn't think about it before. Alright? It's just a silly thing. We're gonna have to just live with it. Live with it. Okay. Now, if I place redstone on these right here, this block is not being powered, and this block is not being powered. It shouldn't mess with the redstone. It shouldn't. That doesn't mean it doesn't. Same thing happening here. Alright, because this is getting powered, everything should be fine. Alright? And then we're going to bring this up right here and bring it over right here. And actually that reduces our output. Okay, now if I turn on this lever and turn this lever off, we should not be getting a signal out. So that means that we've done something wrong. You know what? We're gonna go like this instead, okay? Just because I know that this is how it's gonna work anyway. I don't want to have any loose feelings here. Alright? One and two and one and two. One, two. Okay, now we can be certain. Okay, this lever is flipped, and then we need this red lever to be flipped. Power is on, okay? Then if we flip this lever off, power is off. If we flip this lever, nothing happens. If we flip this lever, nothing happens. Let's grab a lantern and run it out here. Okay, so only if this lever happens does something happen. Alright, now, let's assume for the moment that, actually, let's not assume anything, alright? Both of those are off, the 0 configuration. Alright, now this is where we're going to grab our signs, okay? 0, alright. And then this is going to be this top left one right here, line 0. Okay, I didn't mean to break that. So if I flip line 0, it turns on. If I flip line 1, or whatever that is. Okay, very good. Now, if I put the red lever, then this is line... Red lever. Let's just say, because it's on the right, that's line 3. So we're going to actually flip this. Make sure this is on. This should be, yep, right here. This is line 1. I broke the lever again. 1. Okay. Oh, hello, viewer. Just joining in at the hour mark here. We're designing a mux in Minecraft for Tetris. Because I want to build Tetris, and I want to have a couple logic gates, and this is one of them that we're going to use. Alright? If you watch just for a second here, you could see we're testing and making sure all the lines work. So we got line 1, and that's the one that's selected right now. So if I flip this lever, line 1 is selected, but not line 0. And then I'm assuming this is going to be line 3 and line 2 and 3 here. But we'll find out in just a second. So this lever goes off, and then we turn this lever on. This should be line 2. Yes. Line 2. That doesn't look like the right number. Line. I don't know. On. Oh, now we've got some difficulties. Because line 1 and line 3 are lining up. Why? Where did that go? Why did that get blown up? Alright, well, that was weird. That's line 2, and then all 3 are on is line 3. Line 3. Alright, so we've got all of our lines are lined up. Let's go! I could delete this. Yeah. What does this look like without the shaders on? Maybe I could turn them off. I could do that. It won't let me. It won't let me just turn them off, apparently. That's silly. Can I exit? And then go back in? And then... Experiments advanced? Nope. Oh, sad. So sad. So sad. Okay, I guess we have that done. And I'm gonna go ahead. I had a structure block here somewhere. Okay. We can come over here. I think this is the way. Yep. I think we're gonna go 7. But that's not quite all the way. And then we're gonna go back to 0. Because we don't need any of that. And then we're gonna go Z. I think that needs to go up to 8. Okay, 9. And then we need to come over to 9. It actually is 8. Right there. And then we have 8 up. Alright, save as mux. MUX. Very good. Save. And I'm going to also export it to my structures here. Mux. Alright. And then I can go over here and place this down. Mux. Alright. Load. And this will still be working right here, as it is. Alright. And I can break those. And if I need multiple, or if I need several, or whatever, I can run a couple of these together. Whew. That was exciting. We got through. I really want to work on this again and do better. What could we do better here? For this starting position, I can't bring this down because then the torches would be conflicting with each other. Can I make it... If I went like this, right? And I made... What would that number be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the output, we could go like this. And it could go off to whatever direction we were going to make it go off to. We could do something like that. We don't even have to have a redstone on there because it goes through. We could bring it up to wherever, but that's already an additional 2 layers. Let's try it like this. I feel like it'll be a challenge. Yeah, it will be a challenge. We'll do 2 together, I think would be the way to do this. We're going to be building from the ground up. That'll be interesting. We're going to need that, actually. Alright. And remember, we're taking 3 torches, and then we're putting one in the middle with a redstone. And the way we're going to probably end up doing this is with redstone torches on the bottom, like that. But we could do some weird stuff, because we can go like that. Yeah. Alright. And we have some room to play with here, because we have 7 by 7, which is where we want it to be anyway. And it'll be good for me to have 2 or 3 different versions of this as we go along, to place and play around with. Okay. And then dull torches in the middle. We can't be playing favorites yet. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of this sign. I guess I already have that color. I'm gonna place them down here. And then if this is the 7th block, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're allowed to play, no, we cannot play on the ground any further than that. That's as far down as we're allowed to go. Okay, let's try this again. I'm gonna stick with my guns. Green is the outside. Alright, and blue, I don't want to crisscross here. That's gonna be chaotic. Oof, this is gonna be chaotic. And we can't block the middle here. Let's bring these all the way down to the bottom here. I like that idea. And then we could go like this. Well, that doesn't have to come over there here. Actually, we could place that there. Alright. That will work good, or it'll work well. And then yellow will be on the left side. Oh, actually, would it be easier if I did that? Because, or red goes together. Red goes both greens, yeah. So red is the one that goes together. Because the computer doesn't care, as long as everybody gets blocked, everybody's fine. So both reds are going to go there, and then yellow will have the other side. That actually makes a lot more sense. And then, how do I put these together? I have a block here, and a block here, just like that. Guys, we may have just really revolutionized how quickly this is going to go. Alright? Because they just have to be opposites. Oh, this is going to actually work great. Alright, now the problem that we're going to run into is crossing the threads here. We have plenty of space to do this down here. I'm going to run it in checker, Hopefully this works out. All right. It does not. So we just go like this then. Well, we could go up a block, right? That's not a problem. My insisting on having a repeater there might have killed me. That's okay. Let's try. Let's make sure that all the components for these are in, shall we? All right, that's nice and easy. And these should all be on when we're done. So, okay. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to run with it. Or no, we don't have to run with it because we're us. That's just fine the way it is. Okay. Now look at all that extra space we get to work with. So, if I go grab the levers, okay, what's happening? Ah, that might be part of it. Ah, that might be part of it too. Okay, so everything should be off. Nice. Now, we need to run the reds. Okay. Hopefully, nobody gets excited here. I'm going to turn all these off just to make sure nothing is happening. This seems like it's going to be too easy. Is this going to be too easy? Or am I just making this up? I must be making something up here. I really feel like I'm making this up in my head. Is this easy? It cannot be, right? Oh my goodness, I think it is going to be this easy. And then I just need to check this. Oh man. Guys, what is happening? What is happening right now? Okay. I guess that was easy. I could just replace this with a repeater. I have this block coming through right here. I cannot power that right there. See, this is where we're going to run into trouble here. I'm telling you. I can run down a little bit, or I can run it over. Yeah, that's not gonna make a difference here. Okay. I could torch tower all the way through if I need to. Let's just figure out a way to get through across this line here. Make sure that this block is getting powered. And I have the luxury of space through here. And down and over. Yeah, I'm just gonna go down and over. I don't need to cross too early. I mean, we're right there. Gonna torch this line right here. Okay. And can we make that a target block? Just because I like those. I feel like that's reasonable. Right? Right. Yeah. You guys know what I'm talking about. And that block right there is completely broken. Oops. No, we're not doing that. Run. Well, I guess I can run this as a red now because it is. Or yellow, sorry. Keep doing that. Don't do that. Run this as yellow. I think we're getting the hang of this, guys. Because if everything runs smoothly here, these two will be off, and those two will be on. And then if we... Alright, see, now I knew it was gonna be hard, but I didn't think it was gonna be that easy, neither. Alright. We just need to place a torch on this one, and then bring this up here like that. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. There's no way, guys. 1, and this turns off. 2. These are opposites. These are opposites. That is actually insane. I did not expect it to be that easy. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, let's just place this redstone dust in the middle. And we'll start with this one right here. Oh, because we can't do that. Okay. Huh. Why did this work then? Because none of these were here. I'm so silly. Can we rearrange this red and just bring it down a little bit? I like how this is situated, though. The way that that's set up makes it really easy. And we've already determined that this is impossible. Wait, no, we haven't. Why does that not work? If I put a piston on that, would that extend? Hold up. Wouldn't this extend? Okay, but I did here, right? Oh, well, this is easy. I just grab a redstone block right here. And then I guess we'd want it to come just up, right? Wait, but we can't place any blocks there. Well, whatever. I can live with this right here, right? Oh, okay. What if what if I just go like that? If I have a redstone block here, then I can go like that. I'd rather not wait that long. Alright, and how long does it take for this one right over here? Alright, now we're cooking with gas. I just want to see how long it takes. Both of these are off. One. And then this is like 1, right? This definitely feels faster. I don't know. I don't actually know which one is faster. Alright, well, we've got a second mux right here. I haven't tested it because I'm silly. But I'm fairly certain my work is work. I think mine will work. I can't believe how much simpler that is. It looks so complicated over here, and then I just did this. This is a little bit bigger though, like there's a lot more space here. This one feels a bit more complex. Maybe I didn't really actually do it more complex though. I mean, I guess I could probably shave off like 2 layers of this, right? Oh man. If I was clever, but I'm getting ready for bed here. That was a lot of fun. I think we've got some work ahead of us here. I'd really like to go ahead and start coding and doing all the coding, but my head is starting to kind of crumble. Part of the thing that we're going to have to do is see how this shape is here? It's a J for my name, because Master Jimmy. Uh, that's cool. But here's the problem with this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. Where are they? 5 across the top, 10 here, 11. That's 11 lights that needs to turn on. Okay? And the problem with Tetris is everything goes down by 1. Alright, so this turns on. And then this turns on and stays on. But this turns off. This turns on. This turns off. Alright. So that now it looks like it went down 1, right? And I could turn this off and this off, and then all these would turn on and all these would turn off, and that looks like, oops, we missed this middle right here. It looks like it went down the screen, right? And we'd have to display those at a relatively fast pace of, I don't know, at least once a second. I want this to be a fast game of Tetris. I want there to be a challenge rather than just saying, oh, I pressed the button and it did the thing on the screen. Which I do want, but that's a lot of work. So in order to do that, sometimes people will put pre-programmed things in, right? So I'll have like a sticky piston here, and then a sticky piston here, and run this around like this, so that when, watch this, I need an observer is what I need. And then you just put something down on here. See how it goes around? What I need to do is actually go like this. See how it goes around? That's pre-programmed. We could do that. And we could make it look really cool and neat and make it really loud because there's lots of pistons in there. But the problem is, for Tetris, it's not going to be pre-programmed because that is an insane amount of memory that we'd need to code in. So it's actually easier for us to go ahead and program what each of the shapes is going to look like. Alright, so these are all the shapes that we're going to see. Alright? Once they're on the screen and locked in, then they become their own shape. Alright? And we just remember, I'm putting quotes in the air, remember where the lamps are lit up. Okay? So we're going to have like a little memory storage for that. I don't know what that's going to look like yet, but I'm sure we could figure that out. And then, oh, it's just going to be a lot. Memory for where the blocks are going to be. Memory for where the block that's falling is, so that, you know, if you move it over to the left or the right, you can add or subtract from the values, and then those values will be directly linked to the screen itself. So we need to have a value system of some kind, and I'd imagine we could make our lives a lot easier rather than using logic gates for that we could do something with signal strength. I think I need to look up right now. How many blocks across is the actual Tetris game? Close. Wow, this website has a lot of ads. That's actually insane. I just need to know what in the world, how many blocks across is Tetris? I just need to go to images. Alright, see, this is too long. SNES. Alright, let's look it up on this. SNES. Gameplay. Oh, Tetris 2. I forgot about that. Here is the thing that I was looking for this whole time, okay? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks across. Double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 across. Brilliantly. For sure. Oh, man. Alright, so our display needs to be 10 across at least. This is 5 right here. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't count how tall it needs to be. I'm sure that'll be important later. So if we're actually going to build this in survival, which I plan to do, I'm going to need an insane amount of redstone. A lot of things I'm going to need. Yeah, there's going to be a lot. Now, in real Tetris, there's also a running memory of a couple of other things that we're going to have to think about. Is memory for the points scored. Now, we could put down like 10 points or whatever the point system is. I want it to be as accurate as possible. So I'm going to go over and play Tetris before I go to bed, actually. To see how many points each block gives, how much points clearing a line gives, and then the levels, which I don't know if we're going to be able to code that in. Definitely not at the start. There will probably be several iterations. That'll probably be the way we do this. Is going to be the number of blocks that each block has been dispensed. So Tetris uses a random number generator to generate blocks, and we're going to need to have, I would like to have a counter that says, alright, this is how many blocks have been played. And in order to have a counter, I think I would like to have another RAM, or not RAM, ROM. What is ROM? I forget. ROM. I know it's the right number. ROM. Read-only memory. So yes, this is ROM right here. This is exactly what this is. Read-only memory, not random access memory. Read-only memory is stuff that lets you hard code what is happening in the game. So I can have this is called a bus. Okay, it doesn't look like anything like a bus, but at the beginning I was talking about how I could code each thing in by setting bytes active or not active in each one, and then when RAM decides, all right, I want a line piece, then it's going to select this. This signal is going to be sent out to the computer generator, and it's going to go over and it's going to be like, all right, this is what we got, this is what we need, and then it's going to send a signal from the computer part, the ALU, over to the display, and it needs to send a signal to a RAM, which is the random access memory, where it will store data that says there has been one line piece has been dispensed, and it'll be on a display on the side here. We're just gonna have to figure out how to make, because a 7-segment display right here, like what we have, it lets us, we might have to make the screen really big. 7-segment display needs at least 4 by 4, I think, by 1, 2, 3, because I can light these up. Yeah, I need at least one more layer right here. Oh, so we could have line pieces, and we want that. So the display board for how many pieces we have is going to be quite a bit. And then all of them can fit in a 4 by 4 area. So if I go up here, break this, this could display what we have next coming up. I guess I'll do it on the right side this time. So it could be a line piece that we've got coming up, or it could be, and all of these will have to be inverted because this is actually the blue one, not the green one. So that'll be really interesting to look at and see how we do with that. Whew, brutal. Brutal. Alright, so we could have, how many of these are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 different Tetris plate pieces? I think that's right. I mean, I've played enough Tetris. I think that's right. So 7 displays for those, and however many we have for each one. And then at least a 5-digit counter. You know, maybe we could do something like 1 point for a block, 2 points, or maybe 5 points for a line. That seems reasonable, but I would like it to be as accurate as possible, so we'll have to do that. This is the smallest display that we could do, but we could do twice as much and make each one 4, which would be interesting, and we could build it in modules. I could redesign this and build it in modules of 2s so that each one gets 2, but that, I don't know how we're gonna do that. We'll see. We'll see when we get there, guys. We'll see when we get there. I have done quite a bit of coding, not coding, but thinking about how I want to set this up. It's a lot more complicated than I would have thought, but it's also not intuitive, but each step works the way that I would have expected it to. So one step makes the next step happen, makes the next step, all right, this is, it defines what I need to do for the next step. And there's going to be a lot of working out bugs, which is going to be a headache, which is why it's really good for me to come over and simplify this and make this work really well. Because if I have a working mux and I know that there's nothing wrong with that part, then I can move on to the next piece, make sure there's nothing working wrong with that, and keep going until there's no more problems left. And that will be a nice day. But we haven't even started building yet. And as I said once before, I don't think I've really talked about it much, but I would really like to build this in survival game. Um, so I think that'll be really interesting. And just so you guys know, this is what we started with today. And this was my first attempt. This is my second attempt, which works. And that's a copied version of it. And this is my third attempt, which took like 5 minutes. Like, really, that was way easier than any of the other attempts that I had. That's me and my sister's house, and I've done some other things. You guys can listen to this. It'll probably get me copy striked. But, yeah. I can't wait. It's great. I have the Tetris theme song in my Minecraft world. These two blocks over there, I need to figure out. Maybe I need to download a mod or something because they're too high for the note blocks. So maybe we could do it on a different note block. And then I have an elevator working here. So yeah, cool stuff. Cool stuff. We're working through. All right, I'm gonna head out. Where's my button? There it is. Oh, my skin's not on. Okay, whatever. There it is. There's my skin. Hello. Thank you guys for watching. Can I go like this? Yes. /ear. There we go. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you had a wonderful day. I know that the holidays are coming up on New Year's. We'll probably have another couple videos coming up. I don't know yet. See? I know I have one coming out for Satisfactory at some point. I'm working on it. And I want to keep my commitments, so I will have that soon. Guys, have a good night or a good day whenever you watch this, and I'll see you in the next video. I am just going to cut off the stream because I don't have a end of stream thing set up for this. So, bye.